Hi, my name is Barry Gordon, and I am making this tape at the request of my good friend Ryan Jean, who, as you know, is the assistant director there at Camp Willoway. And he asked me to make this tape because no one is going to recognize my face, in all probability. After all, you might be wondering, why is this old, gray-haired, bearded guy making a tape for you at Camp Willoway? But the reason that he asked me to do it is because he's much more familiar with my voice than my face. And the reason for that is that I actually, when I was somewhat younger, I guess 15 years ago now, did a cartoon series called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I actually was the voice of a few characters, but particularly I was the voice of one of the turtles, who was Donatello. And you might remember Donatello. Donatello was the guy who had the purple belt, and they all had different colors, as you recall, and Donatello had the purple belt, and he was kind of the science guy. You know, he was kind of Bill Nye the Science Guy, only in cartoon form, and he came up with all of the wild gadgets that the turtles used in their adventures. And now Ryan has asked me to do the voice of Donatello for you, which is pretty easy because it's just my voice. There's really no difference between my voice. The only difference is that I talk a little higher. That's all it is. So rather than talking down here, which I can do, right, as an older person, as a turtle, I used to talk up there. And that's what Donatello sounded like. It's exactly my voice. It's an easy gig, right, when you do your own voice. And so I was able to do that. And I also played one of the villains on the show. I played a character called Bebop, who was this rather ugly warthog creature, and he had a different voice. His voice was actually, let's see if I can do Bebop for you. Bebop was down there. He was at a low. He talked like that, and that was Bebop. So I did Donatello, and I did Bebop. And then I would do, different guest appearances on the show. One time I played a guy that sounded a lot like a 40s character actor named Peter Lorre, and I would kind of, he sounded like that. And I did that on the show, and we had a great time. I mean, when I actually went to audition for the show, nobody thought that a show called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was going to go very far. And but it had been a success as an underground comic book, and I went into audition, and I had not heard of the comic book, and my agent said, "You're reading for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles," and I said, "Yeah, sure. What am I really reading for?" But it turned out that that's what I was reading for, and was on the show for a number of years. Had a great time with a great cast. The rest of the Turtles. Rob Paulson, Townsend Coleman, and Cam Clark were just great, terrific people to work with. Pat Fraley, who played Krang, if you remember the series, and James Avery, who played the villain in the piece, if you remember him, Shredder. And Peter Renaday, who played Splinter, and it was so much fun to do because it was very different for its time. And so Ryan, as it turns out, is a big fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and so he's actually working on putting together a reunion of all of us, and I hope he pulls that off because we haven't actually all gotten together, the four of us, in one place. In a long time. So Ryan's working on that, and you will hear more about that through probably the next few months. let's see, what else did Ryan want me to talk about? Oh, yes. He also wanted me to mention that I'm the voice of the Nestle's Quik Bunny, and I've been doing that for a lot of years, too. And I don't know if you know the Nestle's Quik Bunny. He is on all the packages. He's on all of the Nesquik packages. And I started it when it was Nestle's Quik. Now it's called Nesquik. But it's the same bunny. And basically, the voice, again, is a lot like my own voice, only this time it's higher and more nasal. So it's like, it's up there, and I do Nestle's Quik up there, because you can't drink it slow if it's quick. So that's that voice. Let's see. I was Junior Wentworth on Snorks. And that was fun. I did a show called SWAT Cats, where I played a character named Razor. And actually, when I was a little kid, I was the voice of the Cheerios Kid, when they had the Cheerios Kid. So I've been doing voices a long time. That's not all I do. I'm an actor. I was recently on Curb Your Enthusiasm. I've been on NYPD Blue and a lot of other shows. I'm also, believe it or not, a lawyer. I went back to school and got a law degree. I do that from time to time, although my real career is in acting. For a while, I was actually the president of the union that represents film actors, called the Screen Actors Guild, and was privileged to have done that and followed in the footsteps of people like Ed Asner and Charlton Heston, and even our president, Ronald Reagan, was a former president of the Screen Actors Guild. So I was in distinguished company. I don't know how I got there, but somehow I did. And now I've been doing a talk show. In fact, that's where I am right now. I'm in the studio where I do my talk show that's on cable, and it's also webcast. And that's how Ryan kind of found me, I guess, was through my website and also through this show that I do. And he calls into the show from time to time and is a great friend and a great guest. And so I really wish that I could be there with you in person. We tried to work it out. Unfortunately, we couldn't. But there will be other times and other years, and hopefully I will get there. And who knows, maybe all four of us will get there. And that would be terrific. But in the meantime, I just wanted to send this tape to you. I hope you guys have a great, great time. I understand that you're having a little different camp this time because your other location was rained out, and I hope none of you had too tough a time during the storms. But I wish you all the very, very best. Have a great, great camp day. Don't give Ryan any trouble because he's a terrific guy. And hopefully I will get to meet a lot of you in person. So take care, and as Ryan and I like to say, Turtle Power!